Welcome to Poetry of Nutrition, a future scenario matrix. Nutrition therapy and soft robotics for civil control over the quality of food. My name is Irena Djukanovic and I'm a biomedia artist. We start with a tumultuous scenario where food is our biggest enemy and biggest friend. Health crises increase. In the next 6 years, due to malnutrition, all human population is in steady crisis of health. COVID pandemic consequences bring the crisis much sooner. 35% of the previously employable human population is unable to work, 25% completely unable, and 10% more spending time on sick absences than on their workplace. The labor market is collapsing. A global panic arises. One of the most pressing issues is the collapse of physical and mental health. Health is not anymore a privilege of the youth. Almost all generations are equally at risk. Child development disorders are on the rise. Struggles with speech, concentration, autism, and similar developmental issues are more common. Who and what is to blame? Why blame? Let's discover. Notion of what's healthy has to completely change. What we were eating in the beginning of the 21st century is mostly not considered healthy food. This causes that the secret is out. Food is not safe anymore, but the good news is that the wider perception of the population is that this is the first thing we can change. The race for health starts. Additives and pesticides are debunked. All processed foods are semi or completely dangerous. All affordable supermarket foods. Due to GMO seeds, pesticides, and additives pressure, huge health demonstrations arise. They cause global reactions because this is a problem of every society, regardless of its standards. The radical change Poetry of Nutrition project starts in 2030. Nutrition is in the Constitution. 60% of additives and pesticides used in the previous decades are forbidden. Controls is maintained much stricter. Nutrition Therapy Health System is established. It's opening institutes all around countries over the world. This institute becomes a place of a refuge and fun and not a typical health center. This is our first interviewee, nutritional therapist. She's an experienced nutrition therapist that was advocating these changes since the 80s. She's very happy to see the fruit of her and her colleagues' efforts. She works with diverse experts, scientists, robotic scientists, artists, and philosophers. They invent the most innovative approaches in therapy. Welcome to the Nutritional Health Institute, where we treat the body as a whole and work on prevention. Our nutritional therapist is holding individual and collective therapy sessions. Group nutrition therapy is a new form which is fully subsidized by the state. Employers are obligated to send their employees regularly, occasionally on sessions, because it's economically much more viable than an employee on sick leave. Education and therapy merges. The school system is interconnected with the institute. Innovative activities. Children are encouraged through education, therapy, and fun, bond technology and nature. Preservation of the nature includes the human. Ecological guilt is replaced with active optimism. We meet our second interviewee, an old DIY mom, a millennial mom that is struggling heavily to fulfill her high criteria of healthy nutrition for her kids. Due to this pressure that took a toll on her mental health, she regularly goes to the center for group therapy sessions. She's an avid user of apps and most utilities that show the harmfulness of food and cosmetics. She's buying vegetables locally from her cousins and their neighbors in the suburbs. Technological progress, soft and rigid robots. Robotics and AI progress immensely. They create amorphic robots that appeal to humans much more. Robotics, both rigid and soft, together with AI, optimize healthy food production, eradicate negative practices of food redistribution and treatment. Soft robotics therapy. Use of soft robots proves beneficial in sensitive groups, sensitive by age, sensitive by health. It also showed that it's a toy-like activity that connects different generations among themselves. The somatosensory approach of the soft robotics is crucial to appeal to the human psyche, to choose better options, to make healthier habits. Product types follow this change. Industry has an answer. Meet the food taster, a soft robot that is offered as a therapeutic wheel. It's a very versatile soft robot that tastes food and analyzes it. How does it work? It changes its shape, color, size, and motion and sound to appeal to the human. How certain food is good or bad for them. Learning and emotional acceptance is proven to increase in this practice. Food therapy phone apps. There are accessible phone apps for people who live outside of the areas, which are urban areas with the institutes. Also for the economically disadvantaged. This type of apps include meditation, reading work exercises, short navigation audio messages for regulating ecological anxiety, etc. Food therapy assisted dishes. It's a new trend that is widely accepted. These dishes can hold and track statistics of how much and what we eat. Some of them can even show us the balance in the meal we prepared, the balance between carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. For important tool during switches to pesticide alternatives are drone indicators. There are diverse types. Some of them have multiple options, but some of them check air pollution, some of them measure the presence of pesticides and microclimate. Educational food gaming. The game is funded by the institute itself. It's an immersive computer game. The food taster soft robot goes on dynamic adventures and teaches children from early age how to make healthy choices as part of the new norm. This is an age-accessible project that can be prescribed by the doctor, but it has time limits. It's advised to be played in groups in person of 2 to 4 players. Generational bonding is important. Soft robot is our third interviewee. Companion, food taster. While it's serving humans, it's questioning why they are so eager to consume food. that is short-term, creating them discomfort or even habits that are leaving significant health consequences or possibly even addiction. But it's still eager to help humans. And through a playful and joyful communication, appeals to their psyche to choose better for themselves. It's questioning its role amongst humans. Is it a therapist, a companion, a pet, a kitchen utensil, perhaps a utility? Food community bonding. A session where civilians meet local farmers near them. People who buy the food meet the people who produce food. Maybe not necessarily that they buy, but the food that is produced in their near proximity. This particular bond is important for the community. Child development. Nutritional therapy gives very fast results in substantial improvement. Child development disorder levels of manifestation significantly decrease. Farm education and therapy. Beyond the activities in the center, people are actually motivated to meet the people who produce their food in their own environment. This is the merger of traditional production of food and high technology, bonding humans. Summer camps where all groups meet: farmers, scientists, doctors, civilians, pupils. Regular camps are covered by the state and are seasonally happening. These camps are for all generations and for new communities to be created. And we meet our last interviewee, the local farmer, pesticide, additive, and pollution control enthusiast. He's the one who uses the drones regularly. He's a hybrid enthusiast. He's very interested in learning how to control and monitor his crops. He attends food bonding sessions regularly, has pleasant and transformative experiences from there. He's supplying few families with his organic vegetables, fruit, and milk and cheese. One of his customers is his neighbor cousin, old DIY mom. He's one of the few thousand farmers that are participating in the scientific study regarding the Food Taster project. What are connections of the future with the present? Is this scenario already kind of happening? These are current pending trends that are affecting my scenario from the present. Edible robots as soft robotics made out of gelatin, previously unimaginable material for this type of technology. Philosophy of food distribution, reinventing scarcity as abundance. Trends that already exist, astonishingly, are robots that are used in human therapy as clinicians who assist people in helping lose their weight. Robots as companions to people with dementia, AI-generated soft robots, which are created in seconds in front of the spectator's eyes and then able to move and walk. Trends equally important from a different angle are robots in food service, replacing workers and creating attraction to restaurants, full automation of kitchens, and the most important trend for me, for my scenario, are the self-healing liquid robots. Self-healing robots can grow living skin, and with injuring that skin, that skin is able to repair. Liquid robots are very fragile and not useful now, but they show huge potential in the near future. And finally, biomimicry, coping and translating models of nature into science and technology. Most of soft robotics are inspired by the octopus, its intelligence and anatomy. Thank you for your attention.